on that exact note, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Justin Jefferson, is out. And I was reading about this. He's out for, they're saying, a month with a hamstring. I'm like, kind of sound like Cooper Kupp that we were talking about the other day. When you hear this, what do you see about his hamstring?
So even this photograph that Eli has put up for us, he's on the ground. Yep. Yeah, one foot is up. The other foot is on the ground. And you can also tell, even though it's a static photograph, that he's about to move. And how's he about to move? Towards the ball, with the ball, rotate. That's what's all about to happen if we had the next slide, if you will. So the hamstring in the back of the thigh is made up of multiple muscles. And I brought a femur here just to show you. The red and the blue is actually paint mark to show us all the different patches of where these muscles attach to the bone.
Okay.
All along the back of his femur. Well, the main hamstring muscle, and you can feel the back of your thigh, your tush, and then feel the back of your thigh, is called the biceps femoris. Because this bone, your thigh bone, is called the femur. Bi, like bicycle, means two, and sep in Latin means head. It has two heads, and it's along your femur. Crosses the back of the hip joint, but the second head comes from the back of the femur.
Wow.
And the beauty of this diagonal muscle is it allows you to rotate. That's where it comes from. But today I want to do a Klapper vision to explain why does it take so long for them to come out? Because we don't have an operation to fix torn muscle. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
We can fix tendons, we can fix fractures and dislocations and all kinds of things, which is what I love to do. But you cannot put stitches in a muscle. It's like sewing up a Boston cream pie. The stitches just will pull right out. So why does it take so long for this particular muscle, which can haunt a player for the whole season, right? And you look at baseball players, all those power hitters, right? Matt Kemp struggle with those
Magic
hamstrings.
Johnson back in the day in the NBA Finals.
Why does it linger for so long? What is the... Well, here's what I want to remind everybody. And I think we're going to do a Klapper vision with you. So I told you that muscle, the hamstring, is called the biceps femoris, which means lower extremity bone. But where's the other biceps, Curt Sandoval?
It's right here.
That's right. Look at those big guns that this guy has, baby. Right? I love it. So as you show off to us, which we love, seeing under your jacket that huge muscle contracting, so the Klapper vision. And Curt, do you happen to have a bucket in the room?
Watch this. David Copperfield. Watch the left hand. Watch the left hand.
There it is.
Look at that.
So look at the bucket. So let's go to the bucket, Eli. And now, Curt, in front of us, hold the bucket. It's heavy. Let's pretend it's filled with water, and it could be very heavy. And what I want you to show on the podcast is, as you take the bucket from down here, let's look at Curt Sandoval's biceps. As you lift it up, this heavy bucket, this muscle is contracting. The biceps muscle in your humerus is contracting, and we can all see it bulge, right?
Right.
To lift. That's called concentrically loading of a muscle. Everybody knows that. But now, heavy bucket. Curt, you can put the bucket down now, but you have a choice. If your biceps muscle hurts, you're just going to let go and it'll drop.
Right.
No bueno.
Exactly.
You need, in everything we do in life, is to lower the heavy bucket slowly to the ground. Guess what? Your muscle is still firing, keeping it from suddenly dropping as you elongate the muscle. We call that eccentrically loaded. Why is that relevant? Let's go back to the football player.
Yeah.
Why is it relevant here?
It's right there because his legs got to come down, right?
Because you need it to concentrically load to run on the field. You need it to concentrically load to make twists and turns. You need it for him to leap in the air, which is why he's the best in the business.
Right.
Cooper Kupp as well, to catch the ball in midair. But here's what I'm going to tell you. What about the eccentric? Well, when does eccentrically loading come into view for a wide receiver, tight end with a hamstring injury? Because when he's up in the air catching the ball, Cooper Kupp, or who's our player?
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. I remember him at LSU with Joe Burrow, and he was just awesome. But when he's in the air doing that absolute acrobatic catch, Justin Jefferson has to come down softly. He can't drop from the sky like you can't drop that bucket to the ground. He has to land and eccentrically load his hamstring to land softly. And if it's torn, it's painful. You ain't landing softly because physically it can't do it because it's ripped. So that's what I want you to appreciate. We're only talking half the story about a torn muscle and how it works. We all can see it, but you also need to see the other way it works. You got to land softly from a jump. Magic Johnson getting a rebound. He's up there. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I better not fall suddenly because I will do other damage. And that's the problem with hamstrings. If they're not 100% healed, as that player, particularly older players, but younger players too, look out for them to injure their Achilles, their other knee. You will overcompensate with other joints, and it's notorious to me as an orthopedic surgeon who does athletes that if that ain't 100%, they will be back. You mark my words, with an injury to something else.
Which is exact, man. That's amazing you said that because that was Cooper Kupp, and it's when I think of hamstring issues. This is pretty early in my career, but the late great Chick Hearn, when Magic Johnson and the Lakers were playing Michael Jordan in the Bulls in the NBA Finals, and you see Magic grab his hamstring, and as only Chick could do, describe it as, oh, you could see it on his face. And folks, they lose Magic Johnson, that's losing your car. You having a car without a steering wheel.
Right.
And Justin Jefferson, what he is to the Vikings, Cooper Kupp, what he is to the Rams.
Right.
The thing that you said there is on the eccentric, all I'm thinking is they love this guy to go on a fly pattern. Well, you're eccentric all the way down the field, are you not?
The hamstring, we could do a whole episode about why I love the hamstring. It crosses two joints, it's diagonal, but let me just leave you with this.
Okay.
Pretend you are sitting in a chair right now, okay? Curt, I need you to stand up. Okay, in order for you to stand up, you have to extend your hip and you have to straighten your knee to stand up. Well, if I'm here to tell you that your hamstring muscle crosses the back of the hip joint, but it also crosses the back of the knee, goes all the way down below the knee.
Right.
When it fires, oh yeah, it extends the hip, the top half, for sure. So to get up from a seated position to stand up, your hamstring is firing to extend your hip. But what about the lower half, which is crossing the back of the knee? If it contracts, you're not straightening your knee. This is the brilliance of the computer, of the brain, and the electrical supply, because the same nerve, the same muscle, has to turn on the top half of the muscle and shut off the lower half of the same muscle.
Man, we're brothers from a different mother. I'm just going to say that right now, because when you were explaining about Jefferson at LSU and going up, his brain has to shut off that nerve and get that hamstring to do that. And he's doing it. He's not thinking about that. He's just thinking about making the catch, who's going to hit me. We are God-created, unbelievable animals.
And the more you do what I do, which is open people up and see it, and have to fix something that, whether you believe in God or not, something else made. This is not putting a new ring around a piston head in a cylinder, page 26 of the owner's manual. This is, there is no owner's manual.
Right.
But yet I'm asked to fix things. Yeah, that's the privilege of being a surgeon.
Well, it's been a privilege doing this segment with you. I'm always learning, and it's one of Sean McVay's philosophies in life and coaching is have a growth mentality. And, we're always growing here. So, folks, keep listening, and we'll do more with Dr. Klapper and myself, Curt Sandoval, on the Weekend Warrior Podcast.